Outside the police station, worried mothers wait for news of their sons. Thousands of mostly young men have been arrested over the last few weeks as El Salvador tries to clamp down on gang violence. New emergency powers means the police can hold suspects for 15 days without evidence or access to lawyers. And many here claim the roundup is indiscriminate.
A mi hijo lo sacaron de mi casa y son la mayoría, todos los que están allí, los cientos, son civiles, son gente trabajadora y honrada.
Trials are secretive, so there is no information until the men are released or sentenced and moved to a prison. Morena Quiteno's son was detained 10 days ago, and she hasn't been able to talk to him since he was arrested at work.
Está llevando hasta los inocentes. Y no creo yo que no sepan quiénes son los malos y quiénes son los buenos. No sé, porque ya después ya no se sabe nada de ellos. Solo que ahí están y que ahí están. Pero le doy gracias a mi Dios de que no se lo han mandado para otro lado a mi hijo. Y tengo la fe que ya va a salir mi hijo, primero Dios.
El Salvador has long been known as one of the most violent countries in the world. America deported thousands of criminal gang members back here in the 90s, and the poverty-stricken barrios of the capital have been plagued by turf wars ever since. Enter President Nayib Bukele, El Salvador himself, or at least that's how many here see him, as the savior.
Economic areas will attract investors.
The self-styled tech bro appears as a very modern president. He leads through his social media channels and has made El Salvador the first country in the world to accept Bitcoin as legal tender.
4 weeks later,
But this millennial Dr. Jekyll has another face which he makes no attempt to hide. Bukele once called himself the world's coolest dictator. And since his election in 2019, he's been accused of grabbing power and dismantling democratic institutions.
estamos en medio de una guerra contra las pandillas.
Human rights groups have condemned his crackdown on gangs, but he continues to talk tough, vowing not to feed prisoners if there are revenge attacks on police.
Hagan eso y no va a haber un tiempo de comida en las cárceles. Uno. A ver cuánto tiempo duran sus homeboys allá adentro. Les juro por Dios que no comen un arroz. Y vamos a ver cuánto tiempo duran. Y no me importa lo que digan los organismos internacionales, que vengan a proteger a nuestra gente. Que vengan a llevarse a sus pandilleros. Si tanto los quieren, se los entregamos todos al 2x1.
And there are now a lot of people in prison. More than 20,000 have been arrested in a highly publicized campaign. Bukele's government has dramatically increased sentences for gang activity, up to 45 years for adults and a possible 10 years for children as young as 12. People can also face 15 years in prison for sharing any information on gangs, and this applies to journalists too. I cannot speak to or film anyone who may be considered a gang member and can only join a police operation with permission from the government. Under the state of emergency, they need no warrant to search any house or make an arrest.
¿A mí? No.
But these draconian tactics are popular, not least because El Salvador's notoriously high murder rate has dropped dramatically. In 2015, there was an average of 18 murders a day. Now it's just 3. So President Bukele has many supporters.
Pensábamos que él iba a ser el hombre más diferente que todo. Hay más libertad, pues, porque hoy hay más libertad, no como antes que si uno salía, ¿ve? Pero hoy no, hoy hay más libertad, un poco para la gente más honrada, pues.
That evening, another parade of men in handcuffs. The United States has condemned scenes like these, but the government is in no mood to be lectured by the Americans. In the name of fighting communism, the US poured billions of dollars into a 12-year civil war here during the 80s and 90s. The country is still recovering.
Países que nos tomaron durante los últimos 40 años o 50 como un laboratorio para venir a probar sus guerras por otras circunstancias, las condiciones para mantenernos en zozobra como sociedad, para que no salgamos adelante, todo eso desaparece. Y nosotros vamos a crear el país que nos merecemos, no el que nos quieran imponer.
Aquí donde nosotros vivimos.
Back in the barrios, I visit the home of Morena Quiteno, who I met outside the police station, waiting for news of her son.
Aquí duerme mi hijo con a las madres que.
Morena insists he is not a gang member.
Yo me siento triste porque mi hijo está sufriendo. Estoy pensando de que a qué horas me lo sacan. Él que nunca ha estado en un lugar de eso, me lo vayan a maltratar en otro lugar.
While we are talking, a neighbor interrupts. She has answered Morena's phone.
¿Qué pasó, hija?
Her son has been sentenced.
Ay, Dios mío, por favor, Señor.
He's been found guilty in a closed trial. We don't know what evidence there was against him, if any.
No, Dios mío, por favor.
Morena doesn't know how long her son will be in prison. President Bukele's trampling of basic human rights has appalled onlookers both here and abroad. But gang violence has been a stain on this country for decades, and many Salvadorans are willing to see an extreme solution to an extreme problem.